Okay, my friends, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. If you were with me the other day, I did a demonstration of all the different styles of no-toe, because we have several different ones, and this is the one I call the Oompa Loompa, gigantic foot. And that's a foot from a gigantic creature. It could be from a Bigfoot. I have no idea. But it is, and it has all of the same features. The fibula fell off, just like they all do. And it died laying on this side, because I can tell by that black muddy looking spot, just like that. And died in a great flood, just as they all basically did. And so I was going to show on the microscope and look at the pattern of the fabric, because it's identical to leather. And then I said, no sense in doing that, forget about it. Well, after I closed that up and put the video up, I did go through this, and what I found stunned me. Because this thing here, I can show all the patterns where the fibula attached, and then as I looked, I saw all of this fabric looking stuff. And I said, boy, it really eroded funny, where all of the fascia was really on the surface, but it looked like hair. I thought maybe I got some hair looking stuff, fuzzy stuff on there. No, it's hair. I'm not kidding you. Wait till I show you the video. We'll take a look at it now. It's shocked the hell out of me, I can tell you that. All right, I'm going to get into this as I was doing the actual research on it, but I'm just setting you up for what you're going to see. I saw this and I said, wow, that looks kind of strange. This looks like it's all fuzzy. That is literally hair. I'm almost 100% certain. Hold on a second. Okay, this is the other thing I screwed up on the other day, trying to show you where this was. I had the camera out of focus. But this is where all of the fabric wraps around and it gets tagged together right in the front of these feet. And that's the big one, the Oompa Loompa. And this one it works the same way. You see, it all comes in there. This one looks like it has like a medallion stuck on there with a little dot right in the center. You see it? But that's what happens. This is nothing but fabric. And this is, I mean, it's nothing but leather. And it's like a fabric that coats the feet. This is not like a shoe. Even though it looks like it has a sole on the bottom. Look. I mean, you know, let's see. Maybe this is the designer model that has the sole and the medallion. Maybe this is like the Michael Jordan one. I'm telling you, it's just crazy stuff. Absolutely insane. I have like at least 3 or 4 and maybe even 5 different styles of feet. And I suppose we should take a quick look at this fabric in the microscope, because it's basically the same as leather on my leather belt. All right, you see this? This is the tan leather belt. It's basically what I'm going to show you on the no-toe, on that giant no-toe. And there's all kinds of little straps attached to these little balls. And that's originally what I thought that was. And I'll show you over here. You can see how they're disassociated from the balls. This is where the latch is, you know, the belt, to stop it from moving. And you can see, that's what I thought it was at first, was this stuff, which is fascia. And then I realized, no, it's not fascia, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if it is. All right, so this one right here is the no-toe. That's the same as the leather on my belt, basically. It's a little more, you know, it's older, but it's pretty close. Now, and this is like, there's this bony looking stuff that's coming out in all over. You see here? You see all the little white patches? All those little white patches are made of that bony looking stuff. Now, I'm not exactly sure, but at first I thought it was vein blood that had lichen had attached to it, but I don't know. I really don't know. No, I'm not sure. But this is what it looks like. See it? and it's growing out. I believe these are veins. I'm not 100% positive of that, but I believe that's true. Now, this is what I looked at first, and I saw this stuff, and I saw all these little tangled things, and I'm thinking, oh, I must have wiped this off with some kind of cloth that had all these little tangles. So I looked a little closer, and no, that was not the case. All right, here they are here. And I will show you in the microscope as I kept looking deeper. Now, the research I'm about to show you now is stuff that I did, and this is just prepping you for that stuff. So I'll be going over some of this. It'll look like I'm out of sequence, but I'm not. This is showing you what I did after I did my last video. I decided, well, I'll go ahead and look at this. So I started looking, and then all of a sudden I started realizing all this stuff. So this sets you up for that, and here it comes. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to maybe have to mess around with the lights, but that's where that fibula locked in right there. Hold on. Oh, that's not going to work too good. Hold on a second. I don't know if you can see that circle there. It's extremely obvious to me. Now I'm going to put a little water on there and see if it shows up. But usually, like lighting certain shadows, you make things stand out a little better. And sometimes the camera is a little harder to see, or sometimes it's even better. It all depends on the way it's sitting. And you need to have it. No, I don't think that's very good, but let me put a little water on there, and then we'll see if I can get a better shot at it. All right, that might be a little better, but you can see the pattern of where the thing locked in here. Right there. And that's the fibula to this wacky looking no-toe, which is, I call this the Oompa Loompa. And there was another spot here. I don't know if that'll show up any better with the water or not. But this is like a cradle. And they rock in that cradle, and that's keeps the bone from falling off the back. And this is going to have another latch that would have come across somewhere in here. I don't know if I can find it or not. I don't think I can. But these are very, very strange creatures. And these white spots, these are where veins were, I believe. These are where, and I think it's like lichen grows into these veins. It likes that blood, and then it looks like it turns solid, like solidified to me. Let's see if I can get some of this in the microscope. Hold on a second. You know, there's all these little white spots all over, and I'm going to show what it looks like in a microscope. It looks like bone. You see that? It almost looks like bone to me. But I don't think it can possibly be bone. I'm thinking it could be lichen that's petrified. I don't know. Okay, this is just a test. Let's see if I can move these little hairs around. If they are hairs, I don't know. Are they solidly stuck? Hold on, let me get that. Look, they're hairs. That's hair. Holy crap. That's hair on the guy's foot. Look at that. Oh, this is too much. That's the hair on the guy's foot. Look, here's where we are. We're right on the top of his foot. All right, this is as good a microscope as I have, but as far as I'm concerned, that's more than likely hair on a guy's foot. And this is the red and the black is the vein and artery blood. And there's a little pinkish stuff here and there. So as far as I'm concerned, this is biological. It's like right at the edge of his skin, and this is some hair still attached. You saw him moving around when I pushed him. This is not bacteria or something growing out here. I'm almost certain it's a hair. Now, if I had a really good microscope, which I did, I gave it away, but I could have seen really better. But anyway, I never used it before. I had it sitting around for years, and it was, well, not years and years. It was a good microscope too. Hooked to the computer, you could do all kinds of stuff with it, but I ended up getting rid of it. Now, there's the black and there's the red. There's some blood stuff going on here, as well as the hair. All right, let's just watch this as the moisture dries up. Sometimes you can see a lot better. Well, I'm starting to see the edge. This is what attached the bone. Well, it's starting to show up pretty good now. I don't know how it's going to show up on the camera, but I can see it very well. And here's where we are looking right there at the fibula, and that's what attaches. It has to have some kind of an attachment, and there it is right there. And I believe that is the dead center of the attachment. You see that little tiny spot there? And all of this surrounds it, and that's what held it onto the foot. I think that looks pretty obvious to me. All right, this is the real tough stuff. That's on his heel. I mean, it's very, very tough. See it right there? That's on his heel. This is up in the front. And that stuff is really gnarly. He walks on it. It must have been a good-sized creature. All right, this is underneath. You see this seam running all the way up like this? This is where the stuff pinched together. Now, in the Great Flood, wherever these seams were, occasionally they would split open. And the split could be, this is white. Normally it's just like a sort of a tannish look. But this one here is split just as white as it can be. You see it up there? You see how white that is? That's that same seam. Now let me come right down on it and look at it close. You see, it's the same stuff. It's this stuff here. Hold on, I gotta focus this in. Turn the lights down a little bit. It takes time. My microscope is going bad. I can hardly adjust the light anymore. Anyway, that's the fabric of the leather. It's a hide, and when it separates like that, you can see the fabric of the hide, but all of the gooey stuff is gone from it because it's just pulled apart. Normally it was sealed there, and as they dry or soak and dry out, this just happens. And you could see that was the whole length of that seam, and some of it didn't. Well, here, let me find a spot that didn't go too bad, and then you'll see the difference. Let me follow it back here. All right, we're following it up. Now here's a part that didn't go completely wide. Well, it's hard for you to see, but what I'm looking at here is right here. You see this? We were way up at the top here, looking at the really white stuff, but the whole thing comes right down. It's all, that seam ran all the way down here. And that's the way, see, like the leather attached the whole distance down. And then there's other spots that they just open up as they swell, and then they shrink back down or whatever they're doing. I don't know. It's in the It's because of the Great Flood. That thing is a monster. And there's seams all over it, but it had to be just the way it is. I mean, there was no shoe that went on this thing. That was the guy's foot. And that's a strange foot.